It's 2024, so teaching a child to read has never been easier. Yes, you heard me. Anyone who is interested in teaching a child how to read quickly can do this in these 3 easy and fast ways that I'll be sharing in this video. Hello, if you are new here, I am Teacher Kaveen and I have been teaching children how to read for over 20 years. I am very excited to share all my tried and true methods that have helped my students to start reading from scratch and to start reading CVC words, 4-letter words, 5-letter words, words with advanced sounds, longer words, sentences, and of course, storybooks. And this takes place within a year. You heard me. As a matter of fact, as early as 3 months or term 1. You might be wondering, how could this be possible? So if you would like to know, you are in the right place. I am going to spill the tea in this video so that you can reap the same results that I have reaped. I have been reaping, that I have reaped and will continue to reap as a reading teacher, because these methods, they certainly work. Are you ready? Let's jump right into this video. So step 1, the first thing that I do is to teach my students reading affirmations. Yes, you heard me. We've been hearing about affirmations for money, affirmations for self-love, biblical affirmations, so many different types. But little did I know that teaching my students reading affirmations would have made such a huge difference in their learning journey. Affirmations have a way of working on your mindset. When you tell yourself that this is something that you can do, listen, it certainly works. And this also works for my students. So one of the main affirmations that I teach them is, I am a remarkable reader. And whenever I'm going to do a reading lesson, I always let them say that affirmation first. It boosts their confidence, it gets them in the right frame of mind, and above all, it helps them to believe in themselves, knowing that they can do this because they already see themselves as great readers. So that's one of the things that I always do. Number 2, I teach children oral blending. Now, you might be wondering what this is. Oral blending is simply saying the letter sounds that make up words out loud and help children to put these sounds together to figure out what word I am thinking about. Another name for this is sound talk. So children are not seeing any flashcards. They are not seeing any letters, no print. They're just simply listening to what I'm saying and put these sounds together to figure out what object or what color, depending on the category that I choose to work on. They pay attention, listen attentively, and figure these out. And let me tell you, they love this game. Let me give you an example. Let's say I say to my students, today we're taking a trip to the farm. So let's imagine ourselves on the farm. We are going to see different animals. Look around, get your binoculars on, and they make their pretend binoculars. And I say to them, okay, I'm looking in that direction. I can see a sheep. Which animal am I talking about? And they'll put those sounds together, repeat the sounds, of course. So first, I say the sounds, sheep, my turn. Then I say your turn. I point at them. They repeat the sounds and then try to figure out the word. At first, it can be a little tricky for them because, of course, it's a new skill that they are learning. So I have to do a lot of modeling and scaffolding before they get the hang of it. So initially, I do it by myself and just simply have them repeat. Over time, they get very, very confident at this and start doing it on their own. In every lesson, I ensure that children get the opportunity to practice this skill. It is helping them to become attuned to sounds, listening attentively to sounds, which is a very, very important skill, and it's linked to what's called phonemic awareness. And this skill, based on research, it is the greatest predictor of reading success. So that's one of the areas of phonemic awareness, which is oral blending. And as the word suggests, oral. Remember, no text, no flashcards, just listening to sounds and putting these sounds together. I am encouraging you, parents, teachers, give this a try. It is going to make a huge difference in your little ones or in your students' reading journey. Okay? So that's affirmations, oral blending. Number 3, the third thing that I do in every single lesson is to introduce students to a new sound. And that's when I'm doing the basic letter sounds, those 26 letter sounds of the alphabet. I teach a new one every single day. So let's say today I teach S, the sound of letter S. S. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach Ah. That's a new sound. But here is the secret. Here is something that you might not be doing, which is causing your students or your children to not remember. You have to make sure that you're doing this. Ensure that you are reviewing the sounds that were previously taught. So after teaching S and A, for example, when I teach A, I am going to make sure that I review S. Do you understand? So it's going back every time and reviewing the sounds or the sound that was previously taught. So on day 3, if I were to teach T, it would now be S, A, and T. So 3 sounds. So when I do T, I'm definitely going to go back and review A and S. Yes? So children are seeing these sounds over and over and over. So this is going to aid in their retention. They will not forget these sounds easily because they see them every time. In every lesson, they see them. All right? So once that is done, you will not have any challenges with children remembering these sounds. Another thing that you want to do with while teaching these letter sounds is to ensure that children are also writing them. The reading and writing connection must never be overlooked. Ensure that you are integrating these two because they go hand in hand. So when I teach S, I'm going to ensure that I give my students lots of opportunity to write the letter that makes the S sound. Some of the ways in which I love to do this is to have them write the S, first of all, air write. Yes, so they write it in the air. I let them write it on their desk. I let them write it in the sand. In my class, I have a smart board, so I let them trace it, write it, or trace it on the smart board. I let them use Play-Doh to do it. So there are so many opportunities for them to write that letter sound, which also serves as reinforcement. So it's not just seeing the flashcard and that's it. No, they get the opportunity to see it, read it, think of objects that begin with that sound. They write it, they make Play-Doh with it, they interact with magnetic letters with that sound. So many activities to ensure that they are getting the opportunity to engage in that reading writing connection. All right. And after I've taught these letter sounds, I'm still talking about letter sounds, right? The letter sound bit. I ensure that they get the opportunity to start blending. Remember earlier I mentioned the oral blending? Now for this section, they get the opportunity to look at these cards and put them together to read words. And I'm going to show you an example of this. So here are the three sounds I spoke about earlier. S, A, and T. And this is the way I teach letter sounds. I don't go from A to Z. Who says we need to do that anyway? That's not important where reading is concerned. Listen, the goal is to get children to read as quickly as possible. It's not about learning the ABC song or learning how to identify these letters. It's about getting them to read as quickly as possible. That's my belief. That's what I've been doing, and it has really worked. So you want to focus on the letter sound. So forget about the letter names for now. That's something I should have highlighted earlier. Nothing is said about letter names at this point. The focus is on letter sounds only. So let me show you how I do this. So let's say the children would have learned these three sounds. Look at this quick blending activity. Look at that. So it's at, key. Note this. Have students hold on to this vowel sound and let the sound glide into this one. So let me show you what I mean. So it's at, at. Put them together. At. Faster. At. And just like that, your child or your students would have learned to read their first two-letter word, the word at. Now, it doesn't end here. You want to ensure that children are going to see this word over and over again. So in my classroom, what I do is to put up the word on my word wall. That's what I do. It's on my word wall so they can interact with the word throughout the day. Okay? Another thing that I do is to ensure that I give them the word to write. So I do what's called dictation. So I'll say to them, let's write the word at. Let's write the word at. How many sounds are in the word at? Let us pinch the sounds. At this time, the cards will be put away. Let's pinch the sounds. At. At. Now let's write the sounds that we hear, or write the letters that make these sounds. So you would want them to write A and T. Then we check our work. Yes? How did you write A? Does it look like this? Tick for A, because I would do it on the board first and model for them. Let's mark it. Tick for A and tick for T. There you go. You can read the word at and you can write the word at. Isn't that amazing? So that would be the first word that they would learn from just three sounds. It doesn't end there. Guess what? I then add the S at the beginning of the word at. So what's the word now? Let's see if we can put the sounds together. Are you ready? Let's go. S, at. Did you hear that? Let's go again. S, at. What's the word? Sat. Again. Sat. Just like that, children will learn to read another word. Isn't this amazing? And you know what I'm going to do next? First up, I'm going to show them how to write this word. Remember now, we're talking about beginning readers, children who are just learning to read. Your 4-year-old, your 5-year-old. This is the way to go. So I would put this away and then I would show them how to write the word sat. I will get my board and write it for them. S, at. First of all, how many sounds? Let's pinch them. S, at. and then help me to write them. And I would show them s, a, t, and I write it on the board. Then I would cover it up and say to them, okay, it's your turn. You are now going to write the word sat. Show me 3 fingers. Let's pinch the sounds in the word sat. Let's go. S-at. What's the word? Sat. What's the first sound you're going to write? S. And they write s. Second sound, a. And your third sound, t. Let's check. S-at. Then I would say to them, now let's mark the sounds. Let's get your pen and let's check. So I would do it on the board for them to see. S-at. Then I would have them do the same thing in their notebook. So it's a lot of scaffolding, a lot of modeling, a lot of guiding in the initial stages before they can do this independently. Yes, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice, but guess what? Once they've mastered it, you're going to be so impressed. You're going to be so pleased to see the growth that they are making. So it is worth every single minute of your time. Of course, we all want to raise remarkable readers. Whether you are a parent and as teachers, you want your students to become great readers, right? So it is worth it. Give these steps a try, and I'm telling you, you are going to be so happy that you did. But let's say you are a parent and it's still muddy for you, not very clear, and you don't know what to do. I have an amazing resource that you can use to support you on this journey. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This book is called Read with Speed, Basic Letter Sounds and Phonics Workbook 1. It is a very, very valuable resource to help children with learning sounds, helping beginning readers to learn letter sounds. Here it's about saying the sound, tracing it, coloring an object that starts with that letter sound, finding it here, finding objects that begin with that letter sound, and the writing bit that I spoke about earlier is also included. So the reading and writing component that is in this book, it's really unmatched. And it's a resource that you want to put into the hands of your little one. Look at this amazing feature. Yes, it's a QR code. All you have to do is scan this code and you will see me in the video tutoring your little one, so that oral blending bit that I spoke about earlier, that bit is taken care of in the video, along with teaching of the letter sounds, the teaching of the letter sounds. I am teaching the letter sounds in the video also. So it's the QR code for that video lesson, which each lesson should begin with that. So we start off with the QR code. For each lesson, we start off with the QR code. Once I'm done teaching in that video, I'll say to the children, okay, take out your workbook. It's now time for us to do the activity. And I guide the children through all the activities that are on the page. So everything is done for you. The guesswork is taken out. So you don't have to worry as to whether or not, or worry about making a mistake or doing the wrong thing. It's all done for you. And after teaching the first 5 sounds, so that's the first 4 sounds, then t and e, here is, look at this. This is where your child or children will get the opportunity to do some more blending practice. This is where they're going to see the text, they're going to see the letters, and practice putting them together. Again, they are not left to do it on their own. I work with them through all the activities in the book, all 34 activities. So this is the ideal book, not for you to have for the here and now, but if you are looking for an amazing workbook for the summer, this is what you would want to get. It's going to help your little ones to be kinder ready. And if your kindergartner is still struggling, this is going to provide the reinforcement and the support that they need. Not only that, it will also help them to eliminate this summer slide. what happens is that when children are not in school, if they don't do any form of practice, they forget what was taught. You don't want that to happen to your little one. You don't want your little one to regress. So this book can help them to keep up and to practice so as not to forget what they have been taught. I also have other, let me show you the other pages. So the book is arranged in the same way throughout, the same format throughout. So it's teaching a group of sounds, then blending. Teaching a group of sounds, then blending. Not the A to Z approach, not the alphabet approach, but it's about getting children to read as quickly as possible. And as I always say, getting children to read with speed. You can also check the description for the link to purchase this book. It is on Amazon. And also I'm going to link other resources that I have to support your little one on his or her reading journey. You will also see the link for a puppet, a reading puppet that is used in this workbook. Yes, I believe in throwing in some fun in the learning process. What's learning without fun anyway? If you enjoy this video, let me say, first and foremost, thank you so much for hanging with me, for listening to this video. And if you enjoyed it, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye, and thank you for watching.